Hey, I wanted to make a quick video to explain a topic in a little bit more detail that I talk about so often, and I know that many of you watching this know this inside and out, so you can just tune this out. But for a number of people, we go back and forth between something called RPE, rate of perceived exertion, and reps in reserve, RIR. Now, truthfully, if you do this enough, you can sort of use them interchangeably, but honestly, if you're kind of new to this idea of how many reps do I need to do, I think reps in reserve is an easier way to think about it. Reps in reserve means at the point at which you stop, how many more reps could you have done under reasonable form? So if you are doing a set of leg extensions and you get to the point where you think, oh my God, I might be able to do one more, but that's it. You went to a rep in reserve of 1. That corresponds to an RPE of 9, not through any magic other than that's just formulaically the way we do it, right? So when someone says, I want you to do these, sets of bench press to an RPE of 8, what they're telling you is, I want you to go until you have 2 reps in reserve. But that's not really the point I want to make, because that's straightforward. The point I want to make is, how do you know what that feels like? And the truth of it is, you actually have to fail. At least I haven't figured out a way to explain to somebody what 1 rep in reserve feels like versus 2 reps in reserve versus 3 reps in reserve without actually going to true failure. Now again, I am not an advocate, and I know that there are some of you watching this who are just going to lose your minds because you are advocates of going to failure on every set every day, and good for you. But I am not an advocate of that. I do not think it is necessary. The data suggests it is not necessary to go to failure frequently. And I think, frankly, it is much easier for people who are starting to not have to feel like they have to go to failure all the time. And this says nothing about the risk of injury. But once in a while, it really helps to go to failure. And even that implies when you're starting out with something. Now, would I recommend somebody go to failure on a bench press? No. But you should certainly attempt going to failure on a leg press or a leg extension or a leg curl or on a machine-based exercise where the risk to you if you fail is irrelevant, right? It's not like, you're going to drop a bar on your chest or something like that. But you have to kind of understand when you fail, that's what it felt like 1 rep before. And that's what it felt like 2 reps before. And that's why today it's very easy for me, and probably for many of you who have many years of experienced lifting and failing, to say, okay, today I'm just going to 2 reps in reserve on everything I do, or maybe even 3 reps on reserve, although I think 2 is probably closer to the sweet spot, 1 to 2. So anyway, just keep that in mind. You do have to fail to understand what a rep in reserve feels like. And of course, once you understand that, the conversion to an RPE is just a simple formula.